Hey, this is the Review Junkie, and today I'll be reviewing the new supernatural horror film, Talk to Me. As always, my review will be illustrated and the artwork is done by myself. And if you like movies, art, and comic books, please hit that subscribe button because all my reviews are hand-drawn, and I'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers soon so my channel can be official. This movie stars Sophie Wilde, Alexandra Jensen, Joe Bird, Otis Donji, and Miranda Otto. It's directed and co-written by Danny and Michael Philippou. This is a non-spoiler review, so everything I discuss will have been shown in the trailer. Absolutely no spoilers. I'll tell you briefly about the plot, the characters, my pros and cons, final thoughts, and if this is worth checking out at your local movie theater. I'm gonna immediately get it out of the way, and this movie is a winner. I was extremely entertained. The trailer had me intrigued, but with horror movies, it's such a hit and miss and you just never know till you see it. And this is exactly what I needed after the disappointment that was Insidious: The Red Door. And feel free to check out that review on my channel as well. The plot is similar to things that we've seen in other horror movies, and it involves a group of 4 friends and primarily focuses on Mia, played by Sophie Wilde, her best friend Jade, her little brother, and Daniel. Mia is trying to cope with the loss of her mom and doing the best to get through the ordeal. In her inner circle, there's a group chat going on where their friends record themselves being possessed when touching this embalmed hand. It's like a board game, and they play it and record it and share it via social media. It looks like they're high on weed whenever they play. So one night, Mia decides to join in to experience it personally. The game does have certain rules, and you can probably guess what happens next. Yes, strange things start to happen to her in real life. Now, the first major win for me is the entire cast. Everyone here is giving it their all, and the performances are superb. Everyone feels in sync with one another, like they're all on the same page. They all know what movie they're in and the tone of it. And even though everyone is great, the lead, Mia, really stood out. She has a lot of heavy-handed scenes and pulled it off impeccably. There are many moments where she's crying or her voice is cracking, she's mumbling and unable to convey what she needs to, and delivered it without an issue. I really felt her pain. Now, a personal fave was Miranda Otto, who plays Jade's mother. She was a riot and such a pistol. She had some of the best lines in the whole movie, and she should really teach a class on parenting etiquette because she kept spouting out endless words of wisdom like, close your legs and keep your pussy on lockdown. Okay. Next is the entire atmosphere. It's spooky, it's creepy, it's edge of your seat and palm-inducing sweat. It's all those good things that are healthy for the body. It's why we go see horror movies, because we want that level of entertainment. They did such a phenomenal job at executing this with nothing but unsettling and unpleasant vibes. The first scene opens with a banger and then gets right into another one. And not to spoil anything, but there's a kangaroo in the first 10 minutes, and I hope it was all CGI. I saw that and got real sad. Like, furry guys are our best friends, right? Next is the film does such a great job to hold your attention and kept that momentum going from the first act to the second act and all the way to the end. It never loses steam. Each scene kept getting elevated. Now, I wouldn't call them jump scares, but when those intense scares happen, they feel well thought out and earned. There are many instances where the plot is progressing, and then suddenly something very intense and unexpected happens. I like that, and it had purpose to me versus hearing creepy music and having someone open a closet door very slowly and the closet is empty. The sound design is also great because certain creepy sounds in the theater would bounce from the left speaker to the right, and it just created more anxiety. I also thought it was a smart choice to limit the possession sequences because after 2 or 3 times, it just becomes overused and lacks impact, so they reach a certain point where they end up doing a montage versus another full-blown possession sequence. Also, there is something horrible that happens to one of the nicest characters here, and it was non-stop torture. And to be honest, it was tough to watch because the person wasn't a douchebag and didn't deserve that. Now, I will say I was completely hooked the entire time because the mystery and intrigue factor was endless. I do have two small gripes, and I think there's some Australian slang in here. So there were certain things said that I didn't fully understand. And the second is if you think it's an origin story to find out how the embalmed hand came to existence and why it can do what it does, then you'll be a tad disappointed because it's not. So this brings me to my final thoughts, and this gets a high 9 out of 10 from me. This was such a pleasant and unexpected surprise. I saw 3 movies today, and this was the best one out of the 3. It's intense, scary, and keeps you highly entertained. We've seen countless horror movies where something crazy happens and the main character keeps experiencing unusual things, and they try to discover what and why it's happening. But this really takes an overused existing premise and just keeps delivering and pulling you in scene after scene. It felt like there was room for a sequel, and if so, I hope the same creative team returns. So this is a big green light from me, and definitely something to check out on the big screen where it's meant to be seen. So support your local movie theaters and check this out. And thank you again for checking out my review. If you like, please subscribe, helps the channel out a lot. Hit that thumbs up button, feel free to share this with your friends, and if you happen to have a movie you'd like me to review, please let me know. I'd be happy to watch it illustrated for a future video. Thanks again, and I hope the pictures put a smile on your face.